to develop a relationship with him, because that's all we're going to have in these days to come, man. It's him to depend on. No more, no less. I don't care what kind of power you think you have, it ain't the power of the Most High. He's the power. He's the ultimate power. Everything else, man, is beneath. Way beneath. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You gonna depend on anything other than him? Come on. He's the power. So now, verse 65.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
And among these nations, we'll be scattered among these nations, we ain't gonna find no ease, read.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
That's why we tired, man. We always tired, say the sole of our foot ain't can't have no rest, man. Because we always gotta be doing something. We always gotta be hustling, bustling, and doing whatever we gotta deal with just to make it. Read.
But the Most High shall give thee there a trembling heart.
He already said the Most High gonna do this, but we want to follow his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations, gonna give us in the places where we will be scattered a what?
Trembling heart.
A trembling mind, man.
Gonna
be afraid. It says the fear, it says a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High.
That's
and
right.
we're gonna reach our salvation how? With fear and trembling.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And failing of eyes.
And failing of eyes, read.
And sorrow of mind.
And sorrow of mind, man. Always being sad.
That's right.
What he said. This happened to us.
Now
let's go to John the 7th chapter. Get some more understanding here. John the 7th chapter and the 33rd verse. John 7:33.
John chapter 7, verse 33. And said Mashiach Yahushua unto them, yet a little while I am, Shalach, yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me.
You let them know, a little while, I'm only going to be here a little longer. And then I'm going to the Most High, back to the Most High. Who sent him? So he sent him. From where? From the fourth dimension to this earth. Go ahead.
Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me.
He said, you're going to seek me, and you're not going to be able to find me. Read.
And where I am, thither ye cannot come.
He said, and where he's going to be, to that place, you cannot come.
God.
So you can't come where I'm going to be, read.
Then said the Jews among themselves.
They congregating among themselves, you know, talk amongst themselves what they say.
Whither will he go?
So where is he going to go? Where is he going to go, read?
That we shall not find him.
We ain't going to be able to find him. Where are you going to go that we can't find him? Because really, he tried to get away from everybody. Once you follow him, he couldn't hide. He couldn't get away. He couldn't get away from everybody. So where you going to go that we can't find him? Where you think you're going to go that we don't know where you at? That's what they saying, right? Go ahead.
Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles?
So will he go to the dispersed, where?
Among the Gentiles?
Among the Gentiles, read.
And teach the Gentiles?
And teach the Gentiles. So they're calling dispersed that are among the Gentiles, Gentiles. They're calling them Gentiles. You got to see this. Because they were not among them. Amongst their folk. Just like we can say, like brothers are saying this, that if you're not with us, then you don't have the Most High, and you don't have a Mashiach Yahushua. If you ain't with our camp, or you ain't with our church. That's a known fact. That's been happening for a long time. You know, churches be saying, if you ain't with us, then you ain't dealing with the Most High. You don't have Mashiach Yahushua. Even if they call him Jesus Christ, they still say you don't have him unless you're with us. Under this man. Right? Who are we? Mashiach. We Mashiach. So that's a fact. Get 1 Peter 1:1. So now, how is it that the book of Peter is talking to every nation? You can bring any nation in here and say it's talking to them. Let's see what 1 Peter 1:1 says.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia,
Cappadocia,
Asia, and
Bithynia.
and Bithynia.
Now listen, it says Peter, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua, to the strangers. It's another name that we're called strangers. And they're called strangers. We're called Gentiles. And they're called what? Gentiles. We're called foreigners, and they're called what? Foreigners. You see what I'm saying? We're called the circumcision and the uncircumcision, and they're called the uncircumcision. You see? But you got to know which one it's talking about. That's why if it was for everybody just to know this, it would be point blank clear. Point blank clear. So don't worry about it if you say, you want to see where your spirit at. If you're going to be for him, you're going to follow what Mashiach Yahushua said. Get Matthew 15:24. Read that. Here, come get this out. Matthew 15:24. Read that. This is what he said. Matthew 15:24.
Say Matthew.
No, not there. I want to read it.
All right.
There first.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24.
Listen.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He said he's going back to the one that sent him. He's going back to the Most High who sent him. Why he sent him? Read it again, brother.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
But if he's only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, how is he sent to any other nation? When he said out of his mouth. Now let's read it out of this Bible. What Bible is that?
The greatest is love.
The greatest is love Bible. Let's read what it says in that Bible.
In St. Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. Then he said to the woman, I was sent to help the Jews, the lost sheep of Israel, not the Gentiles.
Point blank.
That's right.
If that ain't point blank, what is, right? There it is right there. So,
That's right.
you want to read it one more time just for clarity, and for edification, and just in case you missed it the first time, read it again.
That's so sweet.
I mean, it's there. Let's read it.
St. Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. Then he said to the woman, I was sent to help the Jews, the lost sheep of Israel, not the Gentiles.
That's right.
There it is. I mean, what can I say? I mean, and that's how the Spirit works. He said, hey, you need to look at this. You need to look at this. Look at this, okay? I looked at it. It was that. I'm like, whoa, okay. I got a few more little jewels too, man. I mean, but it's all praise to the Most High. God, show myself down the shot. So you're looking at, we in 1 Peter 1:1. Let's read it.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1.
So it's going to define itself. Like I said, when you go to the first parts, first words of these books, it's going to define itself. We just got to know how to define it according to what's written and what's being said. Let's read it.
Peter, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
Right. Go ahead.
Elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sparkling of blood. Unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Mashiach Yahushua. Grace unto you and peace be multiplied.
Okay, so it says the strangers that are scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, it says elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, who is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now who's the elect? You got it?
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4.
Great. Go ahead.
For Jacob, my servant's sake.
For Jacob, my servant's sake. Read.
And Israel, mine elect.
See? And Israel, mine elect. So it's still talking to Israel, mine elect. So now, James 1:1. So the book of Peter, could it be talking to anybody else? Outside from the 12 tribes of Israel? let's see what James 1:1 says. The book right before Peter. Let's see what it says. Y'all sharing this reading too. Don't be lazy.
James chapter 1, verse 1.
Right.
James, a servant of the Most High, Shalakia. James, a servant of the Most High, and Bahashem Mashiach Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting.
Right. So say to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. So who's it talking to? Who is it talking to? It says to the 12 tribes which are scattered. We read about who was scattered in Deuteronomy 28:64.
Gentiles.
Israel was scattered. Not the Gentiles, but Israel was scattered. You know? Because you say Gentiles, now you're talking about some other nation. We got to keep it for what it is. You know what I mean? To the scattered, it says to the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. And what did he say next?
My brethren.
That's all I need. That's it. My brethren, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, these are the ways that you look at this and just figure it all out, man, because we got to look at this, you know? John 17:9.
St. John, chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me.
Right. You see, he ain't praying for the world. He ain't praying for the whole world. But how is it that we, as a people, in this day and time, want to pray for everybody when we not even gathered ourselves together? We not even together ourselves. Pray for Israel to come together, be gathered together. Understand this. I don't understand why anybody would have a problem with righteousness coming on this earth. Unless they wicked as hell.
That's right.
Because we talking about, we got next to bring righteousness on this earth.
That's right.
No more bars on windows.
Right.
No more criminals. No more homosexuals and lesbians. No more perverts. No more rapes, as you see now. No more beat downs like you know, like we're gonna get and have been getting. You know what I mean? To this day, man, all the criminal acts that's being done away with. No more war. The trees gonna rejoice. You know, everything gonna be in a happy state of mind. No more tears for us as the children of Israel. Because all the nation gotta pay in captivity, slavery, bondage, but it's still not gonna be like what they can imagine, because we can't imagine. Say we can't even imagine how beautiful it's gonna be. It's gonna be better than the Garden of Eden.
That's right.
So what's the problem with wanting to be in righteousness? I mean, they got Obama in office right now. He got 8 years to be over. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So what's the big deal? You got those that hate it, but you got those that can look at it, well, we can use that as an example too. He's over everything. America's superpower of earth. Anybody deny that? America's superpower of earth, huh? And he's over the whole world.
That's right.
Right now.
That's right.
So what's the problem? Only it's gonna be the Israelite with that power. How long?
Forever.
Forever, man. But in righteousness.
That's right.
Not in wickedness. So what's the problem with that? Unless you just wicked and you love all the things that's going on right now, anybody that feel that way, the Most High gonna visit them. And let them see what kind of world this is. And what kind of world you can have if you come back to his laws, statutes, commandments, and follow him. Follow his rules and regulations. Say, if you love me, do what? Keep my commandments.
That's right.
His commandments are not grievous. Yeah.
I think a lot of times too, when they look at that, they think that there's not going to be any more fun. That's I think a lot of people like, oh, like it's cutting out fun. When we go to church, it's like cutting out fun, but that ain't like that. It's not like that. You know, and I think
Right.
that's a lot to do with it. Like cutting out the fun they can have.
Right. But I mean,
But it's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
right.
Righteous fun.
So get Isaiah 45 and 17.
Isaiah.
He prayed for the world. This is the world he's praying for.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
See, Israel is that world without end. Israel, the Israelites. We are that world without end. But see, if you don't know that, then you look at John 3:16 and all the different passages that they go to try and justify themselves being part of, the truth. But at the same time, he's quoting from the Old Testament.
That's right. It is written.
As it is written, as it is written. Can I be heard on the conference call? Okay, I got a text someone said they couldn't hear. Water. Okay, so, and the water for responding. So here we are, this day and time, looking to bring everybody in. And we even done Zephaniah 2 and 1 yet. Read that. How have we looked into doing this? Zephaniah 2 and 1. Read that.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Say gather together. Read.
Yeah. Gather together. O nation not desired.
So we're a nation that's not desired. Read. Who desire us? Nobody desire us. Especially the so-called black man. The Israelite man. Read.
Before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree being forth. Read.
Before the day pass as the chaff.
Before the day pass as what?
The chaff.
The chaff, man. Dried up weeds. Dried up, the part of the wheat that we don't eat. That we destroy and burn up. Read.
Before the fierce anger of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, come upon you.
Before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon the children of Israel. Read.
Before the day of the Most High, anger come upon you.
Before the day of the Most High's anger come upon us. Read.
Seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth.
So we know that we are the meek of the earth. That's why I say, seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth. Because only people in the world, the things that have been done to us as the children of Israel, we just forgot all about it. Our ancestors and things that they went through in slavery and up to this day, like the cop just beating a woman on the side of the freeway, and people coming up with analysis of talking about Esau, all Caucasians are not Edomites. When you talk about how this woman is being beat down, who cared about that? It's a time and place for everything, right? That's the wrong timing. Yes.
They were making up excuses to why she was getting beat like that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. They were saying,
I just really, tapped into it from, this on the Sabbath. So I really don't know what they were saying. Really?
Yeah, they were
she
saying,
must have did something to deserve it,
yeah,
right?
like what is she doing on the freeway, walking on the freeway, and what did they said she must have did something before the tape had started rolling. Like you see the tape, you see the guy beating the mess out of her.
Man, all he had to do was he was on her back. All he had to do was take her arms and put them together and put your handcuffs on. What are you talking about? Yeah.
You know what the news said?
What?
They said that she was walking in traffic, something about safety, about her safety, but when she getting beat up, she come about safety, come about her, she's walking in traffic, talking about, something about her safety. Man. What they got to do beating her up about safety?
See, that's what I said, but this world is Wicked, man.
Wicked. Wicked.
Holy off. Holy off. Man. Say again.
I think she was living along the freeway, and he was around that area. That's that same area that oil. They don't like oil. That's what she wanted to get. They don't want to get along the freeway. He wanted her off out of there, and she went over there right down the gate and started running.
Oh, okay. See, that's bad. See, that's what I'm saying, you know. That shows where we at today, though. A lot of people don't understand that. Hey, Pat. Pat. Make the fence will just go this way. You don't have to go that way. Ain't nobody over there. Unless you see somebody over there. I don't see nobody over there. God, what? Verse 3.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3.
Right.
Seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, which have brought his judgment.
Which have brought his judgment. We the meek of the earth, which have brought forth the judgment of the Most High. You remember? Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showed his burden to Jacob, his statutes and the judgment of Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. That's for his judgment. They have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. So we the only ones that know and have felt the judgment of the Most High. We have brought his judgment. Read.
Seek righteousness.
Seek righteousness. How do you seek righteousness? By following the Most High's laws,
That's
statutes,
right.
commandments, having faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. Read.
Seek meekness.
Seek meekness amongst ourselves. Read.
It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Most High anger.
It may be that you can be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. He coming with anger. He coming with no lollipops and rose petals and say, come on, we gonna tiptoe to the tulip to go to the kingdom. It ain't gonna be like that, man. It ain't written. It ain't written like that, man. Not at all. Con? Right. And what people think, man, you gotta think the Most High is long suffering. And when that long suffering ends, what you think he gonna do? He gonna bring it, man.
That's right.
Look at Jeremiah 4 and 7.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 7. The lion has come up from his thicket.
So the lion is coming from his thicket. The lion has come up from his thicket. Read.
And the destroyer of the Gentiles.
Destroyer of who?
The Gentiles.
Destroyer of the Gentiles. That's a key word. Destroyer of the Gentiles. Read.
Is on his way.
Is on his way. The destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. Read.
He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate.
He's gone forth from his place to do what?
Make thy land desolate.
Make thy land desolate. I mean, nothing's gonna be perceived but only the smell of it. Yes? Read.
And thy city shall be laid waste.
And the city shall be laid waste. Read.
Without an inhabitant.
Without an inhabitant. So they ain't talking about ancient Babylon, because Iraq is ancient Babylon and people are there. They're talking about America. Nobody gonna live here. Nobody gonna live here. Now get since they say the destroyer of the Gentiles on his way, let's get 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. And let's read verse 9 and 10 because you understand, we're going to go through the whole thing because read verse 4 and then read verse 9 and 10. We'll get right to the point.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink?
Did all drink the same spiritual drink? Read.
For they drank of that spiritual rock.
They drank of that spiritual rock, spiritual now, That's why it's not carnal, it's spiritual. You got to see this spiritually. Read.
that followed them,
That followed us. Read.
and that rock was Mashiach Yahushua.
That's right. That rock was who?
A Mashiach
Right,
Yahushua.
that rock was a Mashiach Yahushua. Now jump up to verse 9 and 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 9.
Right.
Neither let us tempt Mashiach
We
Yahushua,
don't tempt the Mashiach Yahushua. But we tempted the Mashiach Yahushua. Read.
as some of them also tempted.
Yeah, some of them want to tempt the Mashiach Yahushua like some trying to tempt him now. Read.
And were destroyed of serpents.
Were destroyed of serpents. We let serpents destroy their guts. Read.
Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured,
Don't be murmuring, as some of them also murmured. Read.
and were destroyed of the
And
destroyer.
were destroyed of who?
The
Who
destroyer.
was the Mashiach Yahushua? What is he called here?
The
The
destroyer.
destroyer.
That's
Now,
right.
now when you look at, you still got Jeremiah 4 and 7. Read verse 7 again.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 7. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way.
Right, so it says, we done dealt with that destroyer is who?
Mashiach Yahushua.
Right, so let's see who this lion is talking about. Go Revelation 5 and 5.
Revelation chapter 5, verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not, behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah.
The who?
The tribe of Judah.
Who? No. Read the whole thing. The who?
The lion of the tribe of Judah.
The lion of the tribe of Judah. Read.
The root of David.
The root of David. The root of King David. I mean, you got to come out of David's lineage. Out of David's loins. Out of David's sperm copulation. His lineage. Read.
Hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Right, so this is talking about a Mashiach Yahushua. Behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah. Hebrews 7:14.
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident
It's a fact, read,
that
power,
our Lord sprang out of Judah.
that our power,
Our power sprang out of Judah.
right. So it's evident, it's a fact, that our power sprang out of Judah. Here in Revelation 5 and 5 is calling him the Lion of Judah. Right? He
That's
sprang
right.
out of the tribe of Judah. Get Isaiah 11 and 1. You're going to be the root of David.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse.
Jesse is King David's father. There's going to come forth a rod out of the stem or the lineage of Jesse, read,
And a branch shall grow out of his root.
and the branch shall grow out of his roots, out of Jesse's roots, from King David. Verse 10.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for a sign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
Right, so these Gentiles are talking about the Israelite Gentiles that's got to seek a Mashiach Yahushua. It's not talking about the other Gentiles because the conclusion of the whole matter, just in case we don't get a chance to get there. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Oh no, before you go there, as you get there, get Acts 5:36, so you know. And get Acts 5:36 somebody, right quick. As you get Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. We'll make sure that we understand what's being said here in the conclusion of the whole matter. Read that.
Acts chapter 5, verse 36.
Right.
For before these days,
Read it just like it's written. Acts 2 and 36.
Acts chapter
2 verse 36.
Acts chapter 2, verse 36. Therefore, let all the house of Israel know assuredly that God hath made that same Jesus, whom ye have crucified, both Lord and Christ.
Right. So the Most High have made Mashiach Yahushai both Lord and Mashiach, or Christ, right? That's what that means. So now, let's get to the conclusion of the whole matter, just in case we don't get a chance to get to the conclusion of the whole matter. Let's get to the whole conclusion of the whole matter. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Start there.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labor.
Right, so this is what a righteous man gonna do. He gonna stand in the face of such who have afflicted us and made no account of our labor. Free labor. Read.
When they see
When
it,
they see it, read.
they shall be troubled with terrible fear,
So they gonna be troubled with terrible fear. Read.
and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
They're gonna be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. How we gonna be saved from the condition that the Most High put us in captivity. Read.
So far beyond all that they looked for.
It's gonna be so far beyond all that they look for. Straight up. Read.
And they repenting and groaning for for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves.
This is what they're gonna be saying. Now this going to salvation. That's when the Mashiach Yahushua coming back to set righteousness on this earth. And to redeem the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And these other nations that's gonna go in the kingdom to work that they can bring the forces of the Gentiles into our gates. So we're gonna have nations that's gonna go into the kingdom with us. But not where we're gonna be at. If the Most High will. If we make it. We endure to the end, and the Most High see fit that our names will be written in the book of life.